There are times in Football Manager where something happens and you think, that can't be real, that would never happen in real life. And then you go back and you do some research, and yeah, that's happened before in real life. And that's where we find ourselves now. European qualification is at stake. But which European qualification are we talking about? My name's FM20. It's time to get real. We have qualified for Europa League football. However, with one game left to play, we are 1 point behind Villareal. And we lost to them 1-0, but we beat them 2-1. So we're ahead of them on goal differential. Or we're tied head to head, but we, Hyen, are ahead of them on goal differential, which is the tiebreaker. Today is the last game of La Liga in 2028. And I had to check the date. It's been a day. I mean, it's literally been a day of me playing these games and all the other family stuff in between. We are playing Real Zaragoza, the last team in La Liga. They are relegated on 19 points. They're not a good squad. Villareal is playing Barcelona, the team that won the double. How much you want to bet Barcelona is going to field a bunch of youngsters? I don't know. I really don't know. We've been on a good run since the Sevilla game. We beat Espanyol 2-1 thanks to goals by Helio and Frank Campos. We shut out Eibar 2-0 thanks to goals by Ronnie Harold and Esam Mahmoud. Helio had a brace of goals and Sirac had a goal. We shut Almira out 3-0. Against Sociedad, we shut them down 4-0. Diana Delivabor, Helio, and Ronnie Harold had a goal. And against Levante, we shut them down as well. Smokovic a goal, Ely Mathis a goal. So that is in our last 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have scored 2, 4, 7, 11, 13 goals and allowed 1. And we're playing the last team in the league. If this was a Hollywood movie, what do you think would happen? I think I know what would happen, but I'm sure as hell not saying it out loud. So, any other pieces of news to note? Helio won Young Spanish Player of the Year. 17 goals and 4 assists in La Liga. Barcelona won the double. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Short of sacrificing a medium-sized animal to the gods as an offering. Let's go get it done. It's probably our strongest 11 on the field. Magishak isn't starting because, frankly, Alonso's been better than him the past few games. We got Van Berkel in goal, Mahmoud, Sirac, Gilbert, and Delivabora as the back four, Diane and Alonso as the midfielders, Harold and Lemaitre as the attack midfielders, Helio and Smokovic up top as the strikers. I promised Harold more playing time, and I told myself I would take him off the field when he wasn't performing well. And he's been performing really well. As it is, we still got Mathis on the bench, we got Marie on the bench, Campos on the bench, Magishak's on the bench, Hoffman's on the bench, Singshire's on the bench. We got it. There is no... I'm not saying it. Pfeiffer with the goal kick. Alonso ends up with it. Up to Smokovic. Long pass towards Harold, but it's knocked away, but Mahmoud is there. He drives forward. Holds it up. Crosses it over to Alonso. Lemaitre can't handle it. Giselu has it. He gets to Lecoq. Over to Aidu. All the way out for Sar. But Mahmoud gets there. Somehow gets it over to Harold, who drives forward. He holds it up. Drops it off to Alonso. Feeds Smokovic. Drops it off to Lemaitre. They're playing it back and forth. Lemaitre in front of the goal. Past the keeper. And in. Nice. That was well done. Oh, that was a total accident of a pass. He passed it to Smilkovic, who wasn't looking, and it bounced off Smilkovic's back foot and right back to Lemaitre. I got to see something here real quick. Villareal is playing Barcelona. They're currently tied. And it looks like they just went up. I need to get latest scores up here. Of course. I'm going to put it down here in the corner behind my head, because that's about the only piece of real estate I have left on the screen. A penalty kick. Diane. Or the Lemaitre, who cuts back inside. Smilkovic is there, and he puts it far post. Nice. I just need Barcelona to... Barcelona needs to draw. That's all I need. Nice pass by Lemaitre. That's his 16th goal this season. That is a quiet 16 goals, to be honest with you. He missed a few weeks, and Maria came in and did a really good job. And then... he had the one game where he had the hat trick. Helio blows by the defender and shoots it just wide. And Barcelona still hasn't equalized. Come on, Barcelona. Helio, the corner kick. Knocked away. Aidu runs it down, kicks it forward, goes right to Mahmoud. I'm not quite sure what that was. He probably miskicked it. I'm going to say he miskicked it. Comdeval. Over to Sar. Drives forward, holds it up. Almost dispossessed. He is dispossessed. Smilkovic gets it. Over to Helio. Cuts inside. Blows by the one defender. One-on-one with the keeper. Goes around him and puts it far post. Nice. Barcelona still has not equalized. Come on. How much you want to bet they started a team of youngsters? Like, hey, here's this 15-year-old potential wonder kid who came in our training camp. Helio finally rounded the keeper. 3-0 up, 20 minutes in. De La Vabora on the throw-in, into the crowd, knocked away. Alonso's not going to get there. Giselu cuts inside. And he's dispossessed by Serac. Lemaitre up into space for Smilkovic to run it down. He takes a shot, but Pfeiffer gets a hand on it and pushes it wide. I never thought I'd be praying for Barcelona to help us. Are you kidding me? Diane. Back across the box to Helio. He sends it in. Oculus. Oh, Oculus is on Zaragoza. That's right. De La Vabora. And the highlight ends. Dude, what the hell? De La Vabora or Mahmoud on the throw-in. Harold centers it to Alonso. Back out to Mahmoud. He holds it up, crosses it in. Smilkovic is fouled. Who's taking this? It's not Campos. Is it Diane? Diane is. And he puts it far post. That was nice. Barcelona still has not scored. Oh, we're prancing around the pitch. We don't care. We already clinched. We've got the double. Come on, Barcelona. Your pride is at stake here. Score! Halftime, we got a 4-0 lead, and we are keeping our foot on the gas. And after all that, Gilbert is still listening keenly. Helio. Harold. Oh, intercepted. Serac, however, gets it back. Tries passing up to space. Too many bodies in the way. Arribas ends up with it. Out to Vicente. Back to Arribas. He sends it up to no one in particular. Joubert heads it down to Alonso. Helio, top of the box. Smilkovic. Back to Helio. He loses it, but Harold gets it. Oh, and Pfeiffer with a very nice save. Maybe Barcelona equalized. Barcelona equalized. De La Vabora to Alonso. Up to Helio. Over to Harold. Far post, and he scores. We are 5-0 up, and Barcelona equalized. We're going to make a couple of changes here. Just a couple. We're going to bring Mathis on for Harold. I know he just scored, but he's on a 6-4. I do. Dispossessed by DNA. Back to Van Berkel. I keep looking down at the scores. Mahmoud. You know what? Screw it. I know what formation Zaragoza is playing. You guys deserve to see this too. There we go. Helio. Back to Alonso. Over to Lemaitre. He holds it up. He drives forward. Back to Alonso. Back to De La Vibora. Right. Baseline. Crossed it in. Off the crossbar. And Oculus kicks it out of bounds. Corner kick in. Knocked away, but Jobert has it. And the highlight ends. That was interesting. Coming up on 75 minutes. Do I need to make any changes? No, I do not. Helio sends it in, and Smilkovic scores. His second of the game. Oh, the cock totally misplayed that. Markovic to Ceballos. To Garcia. Sirac intercepts Alonso. DNA. Out to Lemaitre. He's got help on the right. He uses it. De La Vibora driving forward. Holds it up. Crosses it in. Mathis. And Pfeiffer with a nice stop. As long as we don't get Lelujo'd, I am okay with that. And that was for those of you not in the know, that was a Twitch save he was doing as BVB. He was playing in the Bundesliga. And he won. He thought he won. They even did the end of the field celebration. And then when they went to the news items, he had lost. Dortmund or someone had come from behind in their game at the last minute and won. 6-0. A really, really good victory. That's not what I care about. Fourth place. Oh, thank you, Barcelona. Barcelona drew with Villareal, finished it for... Holy cow. I totally need to save this now. And if I get totally FM'd, the save's over. It's Champions League. You saw it. I saw it. It's Champions League. We've met financial fair play. We're doing well. How Helio keeps on fooling people is beyond me. Well, Maximino Rodriguez, even though you're a fake made-up person, you're a freaking idiot. An award for what, exactly? Doing his job. Well, Leon, he does his job better than you do yours, apparently. I'm talking to a freaking computer. Jeez. And it's my spokesperson sharing that. Champions League. Oh. Nice. Now the big question is, do we have over 20 million in our transfer budget? Our transfer budgets have been, as I'm hitting my microphone, our transfer budgets have been sub 20 million euros the past 3 seasons. Okay, barely. I gotta write this down. How much you want to bet FM heard me and said, oh, we need to change it from 19 to 21. What am I looking at? 21. $750K payroll. Okay, so what's my payroll now? 652. Oh, we can totally adjust that. I still got $500,000 left over in the... I can go to 25. Plus, there's a couple players moving. One of them's already moving for $7 million. Classy Smilkovic, 2 goals and assist. Yes, you were superb in front of goal. Keep it up. So in our last 6 games, we scored 17 goals and allowed 1. That is a really good way to end the season. So we're going to get to the next day here and then do our review. Matasevic was out on loan. 29 appearances, 7 goals, a 6.8 and a 3 for Real Sporting. Where did they finish? 9th in La Liga 2. Okay. This part of the schedule was brutal. This really knocked us. I mean, if you take out the inner game, okay, look, even if we take out the Champions League stuff and the Supercopa, because nobody really cared about that, and the Copa del Rey, this here really threw us for a loop. Granted, they're almost all good teams, but still. This here where we won one game in 6, that was also kind of bad. That came at a really bad time for us. Yes, the 5-2 against Valencia was nice, but we lost to Villareal. Granted, Villarreal's a good team, but I don't know that we should have lost one. And that is how we ended up. So our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. We lost 2, drew 1, 1, 11. Yep, that works. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shutouts. The Celta Vigo loss was a bit soul-crushing because they are a bottom-of-the-table team. No, they finished 6th. Who was it? Almeria, Zaragoza, and Alaves. We can. Yeah, we lost to Alaves. That stunk. So, however, it didn't stink as much as this. We got lucky the first time against Man City. We did really good against Inter. This Marseille game just. We went 3-2 the first time. They totally shut us out. And even though we won, we lost on goal differential. That still bothers me. And then when we finally got to the Europa League, Nantes just stomped on us. We weren't good enough. So let me bring in. Now we're gonna look at the senior squad first, and I think I have 1 or 2 players unavailable. So as you can see, Castello Luqueba put in a transfer request. I said, yeah, sure. He's going to Leeds United for 7 million euros. So I've got 28 million euros to spend, assuming the board doesn't screw me somehow. If we go by appearances, Memphis Jobert leads us with 47, 1 off the bench, 2 goals and assists, a 7.0 rating. David Della Vabora, 45 games started, 1 off the bench, 1 goal, 12 assists. A 7.07 rating. Milos Serac, 44 appearances, 2 off the bench, 1 goal, 2 assists. Johan van Berkel, solid in goal. 44 appearances, a 6.90 rating. If we look at it here, though, only 10 shutouts, but 20, what is that, SVT? Saves tipped, saves parried, saves held. That doesn't... I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not quite sure how that works out. I just know he allowed 41 goals in 33 games, and that's really, really good. Pegar Smilkovic, 43 starts, 1 off the bench, 17 goals, 11 assists, 4 players of the match. I could have sworn he missed more games. I could have sworn that. He's wanted by Getafe and Sevilla. I would trade him if the money was right and if he wasn't going to a team in Spain. Helio, is no longer wanted, but he still doesn't want to sign a new contract with us. 42 starts, 3 off the bench, 26 goals in total, 7 assists, 9 players of the match, a 7.42 rating. Guillaume Lemaitre, 41 appearances, 4 off the bench, 10 goals, 7 assists, 4 players of the match. Charles Ely Mathis, 34 appearances, 5 off the bench, 10 goals, 5 assists, 3 players of the match. Eric Majashak, he got injured. He missed a few games. He kind of fell off the end of the season. 34 appearances, 4 off the bench, 5 goals, 9 assists, 2 players of the match. Essa Mohammed, 3.5 star potential, 3.5 star current, 4.5 star potential. 3 goals, 2 assists, 1 player of the match in 34 appearances, 2 off the bench. And Donny Alonso, who kind of took over the starting midfield role next to Majashak, 26, and then he took over from Majashak, 26 appearances, 11 off the bench. 2 goals, 7 assists, 1 player of the match. Marcelo Diane, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. 21 appearances, 2 off the bench, 4 goals, 2 assists. Ronnie Harold, 17 appearances, 1 off the bench, 5 goals, 3 assists, a player in the match. He and Charles Ely Mathis will be fighting it out next season. Elliot Fontaine kind of fell off. He's not getting any better at 23 years old. I suspect he will be moving on. And in 12 appearances, 4 off the bench, he had 3 goals and assisted, 2 players of the match. Robert Maria, my young striker from Romania. 12 appearances, 3 off the bench, 5 goals, 4 assists, 1 player of the match in half a season. If Smilkovic goes, I am happy starting Maria. Frank Campos, 11 appearances, 21 off the bench. My super sub of the year. 5 goals, 5 assists. Morten Sinkjaer didn't get all the starts I expected him to. He's probably going to be moving on as well. 9 goals, 9 assists, 9 goals, 9 assists, I wish. 9 appearances, 9 off the bench, 2 goals. Sidi Diagne didn't get a ton of starts either. He was wanted at one point in time. He'll be moving. Castello Lukeba is moving on. Lazo Seferovic, he'll be my backup keeper. Shidelar is going to move this season. Got 4 starts, allowed 3 goals, had 1 shutout. He will definitely get more game time next year. I suspect in 2 or 3 years, he will be as good as or better than Van Berkel. And frankly, should anything happen to Van Berkel, I am okay starting him. Peter Hoffman, 5 appearances, 4 off the bench. I didn't loan him out because I thought he'd get more playing time here, and then by the time I realized, hey, I should probably loan him out, the transfer window was closed, so he will definitely get more playing time next year. I need a defensive right back to back up Dale Vobora, and I don't want to bring in another loan player. Aguirre did a capable job for us. 16 appearances, 19 off the bench, 2 assists, playing both sides of the field. But I want a dedicated backup for Mahmoud. I want a dedicated backup for Dale Vobora. I think Peter Hoffman, who is already a decent right back, and I need to move him over to this and work on his crossing, can be that guy. The fact that he's also a very capable defensive center back right now is worth it. It's worth retraining him and keeping him here next season, getting him starts, bringing him on relief appearances. Alessandro Cordonovas, our super sub, one start, 12 off the bench, 4 goals, 1 assist. I don't know if I'm going to keep him or not. The only player on the squad that we have leaving this year because their contract is expiring is nobody. It's Alberto Aguirre. Lukeba is leaving, but he got transferred out. On the B squad, everybody from Ricardo Andres on up is probably going to be leaving. My U19 squad. See, I've got Mladen Vojnovic, who had a really solid season out on loan. He's at Girona. 27 appearances, 5 off the bench, 1 goal, 5 assists for a 6.94 rating. He plays midfield, a really good box-to-box midfielder. He will probably come in and be the starter next to Alonso. I would let Sinkjaer go for Vojnovic starting. I mean, Fontaine's leaving. Paulo Bianco is also a deep line playmaker, but he's 17. It's a rough 17. But he will probably be coming on in a couple more years. He just needs more playing time. I'll loan him out again next year. But as you can see, he's improving. Not exactly by leaps and bounds, but he's definitely improving. His anticipation's up. His vision's up. Balance and acceleration are up. I don't know that I could. Nope. So those are my 2 high potential youngsters. I didn't keep anybody from this year's youth intake. It just simply wasn't worth it. So, and the U19 squad actually did really, really well. Let me get back to the schedule here. The U19 squad finished first at Córdoba, 26 wins, 5 draws, 1 loss, 83 goals for, 24 goals against. And then they lost to Eibar in the quarterfinals. But they also let me go back to their schedule here. They got out of their youth group league, and they got knocked out by Partizan in the second knockout round. Slobodan Petrovic, who has potential. If I already didn't have a dearth of young strikers, I'd be looking at him seriously. So it felt like a really up and down season. It really did. And there were a couple of times where it was just, I wasn't quite sure whether or not we were going to get qualification for the longest time. Well, not for the longest time, but for a while we were on the outside looking in. Goal-wise, Helio had 26 across all competitions. Smokovic had 17. Lemaitre and Ely Mathis had 10. Maria had 5. Harold had 5. Campos had 5. Magicek had 5. We had a lot of contributors goal-wise. We also had a lot of contributors assist-wise. Dale Vabor had 12. Smokovic had 11. Magicek had 9. A bunch of players at 7 and 5. So it tells me we're a well-rounded squad when we're working together and attacking together. And we did a really good job defending. You don't have as many shutouts as we have, especially the last half of the season, if you're not a good defensive team. Our 80 goals scored were second highest. Our 44 goals allowed were 7th best. Who allowed more goals than we did? If we go to league table, goals for, goals against. So Valencia, Barcelona, Villareal, Real Madrid, and Atletico each allowed fewer goals than we did, but not by much. Okay, Atletico had 25 allowed the whole season, and yet somehow they only finished third. That's because the teams they lost to were the teams that finished above them. But, we're solid defensively. We're solid offensively. 80 goals scored are our second highest in the league. I mean, that's 28 behind Barcelona, but Barcelona, So it was a solid season. And we missed it. 73 points, 81 yellow cards. Let's see if we can get to end of the year awards and so on and so forth. I'm wondering what the goal of the season is going to be. I think I know what it should be, but I want to see if they agree. Players inducted into the best 11. Helio, Pedro Smokovic, and Charles Ely Mathis were the other ones selected. Sands is at Ascoli Calcio. When did that happen? This last season. Tenerife bought him, they loaned him, and then Ascoli bought him. Hami Hardy, how is he doing? To be honestly, he's a La Liga 2 player. Yada is at Independiente. How did he do? He is getting older. That is how he's doing. On loan from Zenit. Zenit bought him. They turned around and loaned him out. He was at Colo Colo for a season and was actually really good. Okay. Lassina Traore's at Empoli. He moved on from Leicester. Okay, I knew that. And he did next to nothing. And he was loaned to Empoli. So, I guess Jamie Vardy does not like him. End of season awards. Helio, Player of the Year by a huge margin. Robert Maria, signing of the season for 4 million euros from FC Voluntari. Helio, Young Player of the Year at 20 years old. His goal against Sociedad is the one I would expect to be goal of the season. I mean, he starts out on the left, avoids the tackle, keeps going, rounds 1, rounds 2, and just far posts it. I had some players score from like 27, 28 yards, but I mean, the guy started at the midline and totally avoided the one tackle. Season review, the lowest we fell was 7th, but for a while there, we were 6th the longest time. It was only the last 3 weeks we climbed our way up into Europa League, or into European football contention. 6th is still Europa League, so I don't know that I would have been happy with Europa League, especially after what happened this year in the Champions League and the Europa League, getting knocked out by Nantes the way we did, but Champions League, here we come. Club visions and expectations meeting. Work within payroll budget. Mid-table. Group stage minimum. We're still playing high-tempo, attacking, entertaining possession soccer. Sign players from the lower level of the domestic games. I would love to if they're good. I will accept this current vision. We are getting our youth facilities upgraded at the beginning of the next season. I will ask about our training facilities. End of season team meeting. Plans for next season. I'm aiming for mid-table. Everybody likes that. And by mid-table, I mean 4th. Jaime's a youth player. I think if we look at the longest, Elliot Fontaine was out with damaged cruciate ligaments. Not torn, but damaged. And it's a big reason he didn't, honestly, it's a huge reason he kind of fell off. And plus, he went from 4.5-star potential ability, I want to say, to 3-star. So whatever he did just completely ruined him as a La Liga footballer. He's probably still a good footballer for the lower levels of football, but not for us. And that's kind of sad to say. End of season break. We'll come back on July the 3rd. Training camp destination. Last year we were in England. You know what? This year we're going to go to Scotland. And as long as we can find the closed captioning button, we'll be fine. I love Scotland. Beautiful country. I was there when I was younger. My dad was in the Air Force when I was growing up. We moved around quite a bit. We spent 3 years in England and 3 years in Germany. We used to go traveling all the time. Scotland is absolutely gorgeous. But I swear, they need a closed captioning button. Because when you're 13 years old and you can't get drunk with them legally, you can't understand them. Lava's got relegated. Anything else coming up? Helio, Team of the Year bonus. 61,000. Board to upgrade youth and training facilities. Nice. They don't have to ask. They're doing it both. Still nothing about the stadium. So, it's 2028. What do we have going on in 2028? World Cup? Nope, it's 2030. I don't know. Bunch of players made Team of the Week. All except Van Berkel. That happens. So, we're going to end it here. This was... I really thought Barcelona was going to tank it. I thought they were just going to play a bunch of youth players and totally screw me over, but they didn't. Or, they played a bunch of youth players and the youth players came through. Let's check that out real quick. Barcelona schedule, senior squad. Villareal. I could have swore they won. Ter Stegen, Robert Wegnerich, nope, he's a full-time starter. Tobito, he's a full-time starter. Kessie is a full-time starter. I'm not looking at Kessie. I'm going to bed here in a little bit. I can't have those eyes haunting my dreams. Yeah, they played a full squad. Well, Fati and De Jong were on the bench. They brought Kimmich off. They brought Kimmich on the bench. Kolarov was their scorer. 20 years old, valued at 81 million. Yeah, he's definitely a good player. How many youth? 54 caps at 23 years old. Wow. Rousseau is their starting striker. We've seen him before. He's got potential too. So I could have sworn they had a goal. I could have sworn they scored 2 goals. Oh, one more thing before we leave. Champions League. Has that been played yet? Leipzig is playing Arsenal on soon. Okay. And Liverpool is playing Tottenham in the Europa League. Okay. Now, it's late. I got to go to bed because if I don't, I'm going to stay up till 5 in the morning doing the transfer window and stuff like that. That'd just be bad. So we are going to save this here. Save game as 9.4. And call it a night. If you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. I'd be interested in your feedback on my transfer window. Who do you think I should move? Do I need to strengthen any area? Do I just need to let my youth players play? And those are the consequences. If we end up mid-table, we end up mid-table. It's a good season. A really good season. Been touch and go there for a while, but still a good season. My name's FM20. Thank you for